Welcome back on deynonmod. Today I want to propose you a video about the unboxing review about the army set for the Soulblight Gravelords, the Deathrattle version released by the Games Workshop in April 2025. Really, this is something that I went crazy since the announcement and seen much more in the Adepticon of March 2025. So really quite amazing because it's based on something that I always loved, the Deathrattle, so the skeleton. I started the Oceaboripus because I wanted an army of full skeletons, and here I have an army set of full skeletons. So okay, I come back to the origins and I'm wow, perfectly wonderful in this way. So here we can start with this box that has this, that it's also the cover we see about the Battletome. Here we can see part of the miniature that are inside. I quite like this part about the box because these images are really quite amazing ones. And eventually we can also flip here and see about the contents that are inside. The box it's not perfect because it has sustained some I can say mistreatment along the delivery. Okay, so here we can find that inside there are these miniatures. So we have as contents, as you can see here, the Battletome itself, the War cards, the Waking on Skeleton Steed, that it's this new one, it's really quite amazing. Then we have 5 Borrow Knights and 20 Borrow Guards. If we talk about the value of such box, we have to pay some attention because we have to make understanding about what we are talking about. Because if we talk about the Borrow Guard, are 44 euros one, and I say this because I associate them to the ones, because we have 2 units of these, to the Great Guard. So it's the value of the guard that it goes to substitute, so I think that it's perfect in that way. Then we have about one important thing that we have to distinguish, because we have the Bar Knights that associate with the Black Knights, because it goes to substitute that, and they should cost 37 euros. But if you talk about the Elite Cavalry of other armies, usually they cost 50 euros, so you have to pay attention about this. And about the Waking on the Skeleton Steed, if you go to see about the previous one, it was 34 euros. So we had that the total one of this, it's 159 euros. The army book we can talk about 40 euros value, the boss costs 20 euros. So if you think that it will cost 180 euros normally and you can have a discount, you have to understand if it's worth for you or not. Surely are all new models, so it's really quite intriguing in that way, and sincerely I think that it's really quite interesting anyway, because you can save quite a lot of money. If you need some models of this, it's for sure something intriguing. Obviously the guards you can use as borrow guards, so you don't need them. Also the Battle Knights, okay, they are wonderful models, but if you need something that is simply the Black Knights, you can say, okay, I had the Black Knights, I don't need new models. It's up to you decide. For sure, also the main model, it's on 80mm one, this, so it's changed compared to the previous one, but I think that it's really quite amazing, so it's worth. Obviously, if you don't need all of these, you can simply choose to have not the limited version army book that it's here, army book, the Battletome it's here, but go to see about the normal one, because you don't need the models. But sincerely, I load such models since I seen them, so I wanted to add them, and sincerely I really don't regret this because it's amazing, and I love such alternative cover model because it's Battletome, because it's really quite amazing one, really quite intriguing. So really think if it's worth, because okay, it's can happen that you don't need this, but if you like the things that are inside, you can save quite a lot of money eventually. Moreover, because you have to think that as I said, you can have this, that it's the normal one, so 159 goes to the price that are the substitute of the yet present one. But if you think about the updated one, for example for the Oceaboripus or the mod that has the same basin, you can think that it costs 50 euros more, so the value of the miniature it's cost the same as the box not discounted. So it could be quite interesting, because anyway you had the Battletome inside, the War that it's not bad, so you have to decide. Surely in my opinion it's a worth, but you have to value about this. So let's open and go to see about the contents. Okay, one thing before to start, you can see here an amazing design that sincerely I love, and it's all the four side here, so it's something that I really suggest you to keep. So eventually, if you want to cut off this box, I suggest you to take them down so that you can recycle and so on, use, because I think that they are really quite amazing. Otherwise, the box itself, it's perfect to keep models inside, so think eventually about such a because I think that it's saving about storage and at the same time having a little quite interesting thing to use. Okay, here we have the separator that this time doesn't have any special image from the side, so okay, we can take note, so we can take it off and see the miniatures. So let's start with the Baron Knight. Here are amazing models, really. We have 4 identical ones because there are a unit of 5 models, so we have 20 models, so we have 4 of the same one, so really quite nice. I quite appreciate it, sincerely. And if you go to see about the spruce itself and the models, we can make a fast comparison with the Custom City ones, for example. You can find that the tests are not far from this, so I really quite appreciate them, sincerely, really quite nice. And also if you compare these ones with the Blood Bowl ones, I think that they are really not bad at all, so it's really quite a lot of potential. I have yet to see about if there are options about Whippory or so on or other things, so I'm really quite curious. I've only seen something related about anticipation for the Bosco, so okay. But the Whippory, it's amazing. I love such Alberts. They are really amazing. Quite thin, quite delicate, but amazing. So pay attention eventually, because I think that you have to repair a lot of them eventually. So try to store them accurately. So let's remove about the Baron Guard and see the rest. Then you can see about the Baron Knight that we have completely here with this spruce, and they are really quite amazing one. See the amount of detail that here they have. They are really fantastic. Here, anyway, one thing to notice, we have this part about the riding that it's on the horse itself, so we have to pay attention about this. Eventually, if you want to make that the model it's out, so you can change the ride, you have to pay a bit of attention eventually, so okay. And really, the amount of detail, it's amazing. I know that these as horses are something that could be boring, having more of such unit, but I think that eventually you can change the positioning eventually about the heads or so on, so I think that it has quite a lot of options, so it can be interesting. And really, I'm really quite looking to see if there could be even more personalized or so on, eventually change little details and so on, because wow, I think that 5 of these will not be enough. But remember, this goes to substitute the Black Knights, so eventually you can use the Black Knights themselves, so it's not a problem. But the models are wonderful, I really love them. And then we have the White King on Skeleton Horse. Sincerely, I love the model itself because it's really quite amazing. I love the detail, and sincerely, I think that I'll use such options because they are really quite perfect. Have some bases based on the Shibo that could be recycled and enlarged so that I could play with all the unit having this type of scenery. So I think that I'll try eventually, because really you can personalize really quite a lot. The amount of detail that they have, it's simply amazing, because you can really personalize quite a lot, and eventually if you save some of these pieces, you can personalize other models that could be from the Baron Knight or for other mods that you want, and it can be quite intriguing, I think. So I hope that this would be a way to personalize even more your Deathrattle armies, because it is quite worth. Okay, here we have another separator that, as usual, as we've seen before, it's the same without any design. A pity, but okay. And then here we have the this box that it's really quite nice, that inside has both the Battletome and the word card and the assembly instructions, so it's really quite amazing. I really like such box. This I suggest you eventually to keep, because to preserve and so on could be quite nice, or eventually you can put some other things, for example your roost or so on along the time. I think it has quite a lot of amazing parts. See here, it's really quite amazing. So let's put this aside for a second and see about the rest of things that are inside. So here we have the part about the basing, okay, the basing for the models, and here too. So here we have the one about the riders. So not bad. Also this part about this thing, I think that could be used for a sort of background and so on. So again, we can keep, because the images are simply amazing one, really. Because, okay, I can flip it to make you see better, but here it's a design that we've seen before, that it's on the border here, but also this imaging, it's simply fantastic. So it would be a pity eventually to throw away, and it would be better to recycle in some way, because it could be a background for images or something else, or even like a bookmark for your reading. I think that they're wonderful. Okay, so let's open this, that it's really quite nice. And also here, as I said, there is such images, so it will be a pity to throw away, because recycling this, I think that it's really quite nice. Okay, here I have the Battletome, that it's really quite amazing one. Wow, I really love such one. I'll make a review about the Battletome in another video, because I want to pay a lot of attention about this singly. So, okay, and before I want to read, so that I can also see if there are some changes about the background. Okay, really quite nice. Here I have this, that are the instruction about how to build the various models. So okay, I will suggest you to read, because as you see there are tons of parts, so it's a way to know better about this and eventually know how you can eventually personalize songs. So I think that it's really quite nice. And I've had this, that it's the part about the world curse. Okay, this is something that could be useless, okay, but at the same time it's not a bad thing. So here we have all the world curse, so we can open this and see a bit better about this. But again, see this design, it's simply amazing one. I really love this one. And here, so we had the whole screws. So here about the normal unit and so on. And here really, it's up to you decide what you need about these ones. Here we have also about the various rules and also about the spearhead ones. So quite complete, I quite like, I quite appreciate. Remember that this it's an alternative about bringing with you the Battletome itself. But also remember that you have also the app of Age of Sigmar. And that one is in some way much better, because it remains updated, so you don't have the problem about having some profile that has been changed and so on, so I have to correct these ones. But at the same time, these are nice to keep track, so that you want to keep with you until it's released the official Battletome, that you see eventually some changes, some updates, some facts and so on. This could be a way to bring with you. Remember that to have the app work with this, you have a code on the Battletome that you have to register, so pay attention about that one. But I really quite like, so it's really not bad at all, and these are some things that you could always have an option. Eventually you can create your sort of little journal with the cards inside, so that you can consult them when you need, and only the ones that you need. So it's up to you, but it's a good option. So what do you think about such army set of the Soulblight Gravelords? Are you interested? Have you bought, or you are not interested at all? Remember, I said I'm really quite in love about the Deathrattle, so I understand that you don't are interested because there are all miniatures that you have yet in another way, because the guard, the Black Knight and so on, so you'll use those ones and you're not interested to buy new models that are the same role. I completely understand, but I said I'm in love for the Deathrattle, okay? So are you interested or you still prefer about the Vampire? Or you thought that this was too much expensive for what you gained, or you're okay and you really got crazy and wanted to buy? Because I'm really quite curious about. Remember that this is the first part, because I'll bring up the next one that it's about the Battletome itself. So I made a review about specifically the Battletome. I had yet to decide if only about the background that was for sure, or also about the rules. I yet to decide, but still a little analysis I'll make, because there are tons of things to say and I had to read, simply, because I read something, but I want to go deep and be more complete in my ideas about. So, are you glad about this pipe box if you bought, or you wanted to buy and you were not able, or so on? I'm quite curious to know about what you thought, because I'm in love and I'm quite glad. And even if this maybe I'll dismantle, I'll be glad anyway, because the images are fantastic and I still use in some way. Anyway, from deynonmod it's everything. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell so to receive notification about new video, to comment under here about this video, or if you want to suggest me new videos. So, I hope to see you again to the next time.